How Machiavelli would outsmart everyone, his 21 laws of power. Most people think they understand power. They think it's about status, intelligence, or charm. But Machiavelli saw something far darker, far more human. He believed that power is not found in appearances, nor in good intentions, but in the precise understanding of human weakness. While others try to be liked, the Machiavellian mind studies, waits, and strikes only when the world is blind. Power, in its purest form, is the art of seeing what others refuse to see. Ask yourself this: how many times have you lost simply because you played fair? How many moments have slipped through your fingers because you assumed others thought like you, honorably, kindly, or with conscience? Machiavelli's warning was simple but cruel. Those who seek goodness without strategy will be destroyed by those who seek strategy without goodness. The battlefield of life doesn't reward innocence. It rewards awareness. The difference between the lion and the lamb isn't strength, it's perception. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince for the weak-hearted. He wrote it for those who dared to look at human nature without illusion. He wrote for those who could accept that behind every smile hides an agenda, behind every alliance hides a calculation, and behind every virtue hides ambition. To outsmart everyone, you must first outgrow the childish belief that people mean what they say. The world is ruled by masks. The wise man learns to wear his consciously. In this video, we will journey through 21 timeless laws, psychological, strategic, and brutally honest, that reveal how Machiavelli would outsmart everyone today. These laws are not for manipulation, they are for clarity. They teach you how to see through deception, control your reactions, and understand the silent codes that govern respect, dominance, and influence. You'll learn how the truly powerful remain calm when others panic, silent when others boast, and strategic when others act impulsively. The truth is uncomfortable, but liberating. No one is naturally powerful. Power is crafted through patience, self-mastery, and the courage to think differently from the crowd. Machiavelli's genius was not cruelty, it was lucidity. He saw humanity as it is, not as it pretends to be. So I ask you to listen, not with your emotions, but with your intelligence. Because once you see through the illusions of others, you can no longer be manipulated. Once you master the art of perception, your silence will become your greatest weapon. And once you understand these 21 laws, you will no longer chase validation. You will become the storm that others quietly fear. Before we begin, comment this phrase to set your intention for the journey ahead. I choose awareness over illusion. If you're ready to awaken the Machiavellian clarity within you, like this video, subscribe, and stay until the very end. Because the last law will reveal a truth that changes how you see people forever. To understand Machiavelli's mind, you must first understand the world he was born into. A world dripping with deceit, ambition, and shifting loyalties. Florence, during the Renaissance, was not the land of beauty and art that history books glorify. It was a theater of power. Behind the paintings, behind the cathedrals, there was betrayal. Families like the Medicis ruled not through kindness, but through precision, manipulation, and ruthless calculation. It was a place where trust was a weapon, and mercy could mean death. Machiavelli was not born powerful. He was born observant. As a diplomat and political advisor, he watched men fall not because they lacked virtue, but because they lacked understanding. He realized that the fall of great men was rarely due to evil. It was due to naivety. They played a noble game in a dishonest world. They thought sincerity would win influence, that honesty would be rewarded, and that goodness was enough to protect them. It wasn't. The world Machiavelli saw was not moral, it was psychological. Those who thrived were not those who were kind, but those who could read the minds of others before they acted. The battlefield wasn't only made of swords, it was made of intentions, emotions, and perception. Philosophically, Machiavelli shattered a comforting illusion. Before him, most thinkers like Plato or Augustine believed that morality was the foundation of leadership. Machiavelli disagreed. He said that morality and effectiveness rarely coexist in power, that a ruler who seeks to do only good is doomed in a world where others do not. This is why he became one of history's most misunderstood thinkers. He didn't advocate evil. He exposed its inevitability in human behavior. He held up a mirror to humanity and forced it to see its own face, cold, cunning, and afraid. Psychologically, his insights were centuries ahead of their time. Machiavelli understood human nature like a surgeon understands anatomy. He knew that people are driven by fear more than love, that emotions override logic, and that appearances often dictate truth. He knew that the masses crave safety, not truth, that they prefer the illusion of goodness to the reality of power. And so he taught that the wise must learn to control perception, the ultimate currency of influence. Power to him was not about domination, it was about mastery of perception, anticipation and restraint. Over the centuries, Machiavelli was vilified by moralists and theologians who feared what his clarity revealed, that beneath civilization lies strategy. But in truth, he was not a demon, he was a realist. His writings survive because they describe something that never dies, the silent struggle for control that governs every human interaction. From kings to corporations, from lovers to leaders, the same laws apply. The weak play emotionally, the strong play consciously. And that's why, even today, Machiavelli's words cut deeper than any sword. He doesn't teach you to destroy, he teaches you to see. And once you see the invisible game being played around you, you can never unsee it. Before you can command others, you must first command yourself. Power begins not with manipulation, but with mastery, of perception, of emotion, of silence. Machiavelli understood that the world moves according to hidden laws, psychological mechanics that govern human behavior just as gravity governs motion. To outsmart everyone, you must know these laws, not as tactics but as reflexes. You must think like a ruler even when you are powerless. Observe like a hawk even when you are silent. The following 21 laws are not theories. They are mirrors reflecting the reality of how influence truly operates. Let us begin. Law 1. Never reveal your intentions. The moment others know what you want, they gain power over you. Machiavelli saw that the most dangerous weakness is transparency. People who speak too openly expose their strategy. They make themselves predictable. The wise conceal their motives beneath layers of ordinary words and harmless gestures. Like the fox that hides its fangs behind a calm gaze, your silence must confuse while your mind advances. In a world addicted to oversharing, your mystery becomes your fortress. Never explain too much. Those who think they understand you will never see you coming. Law 2. Control appearances, not reality. Reality is fragile, but appearances are immortal. Machiavelli wrote that the people judge by what they see, not by what is true. Therefore, focus on perception. Shape the image others believe. The powerful man builds a mask so convincing that it becomes his armor. He appears generous even when he calculates, humble even when he dominates. Never fight for truth, fight for belief. Because in politics, in business, even in love, the perception of power is power. Law 3. Master the art of detachment. Those who are ruled by emotion are ruled by others. The Machiavellian mind remains cold when the crowd burns. Detachment is not indifference, it is strategy. The one who can step outside his feelings can see the entire board. When insulted, do not react. When praised, do not glow. Learn to pause before you respond, and you will dominate those who act impulsively. Detachment is the throne upon which power sits. Law 4. Let others speak first. Machiavelli knew that silence extracts truth. When you speak too early, you reveal your mind. When you listen, others reveal theirs. The one who listens controls the conversation. The one who observes controls the direction. In courtrooms, negotiations, and conflicts, those who wait become the architects of outcome. To outsmart everyone, master the uncomfortable art of letting others expose themselves while you appear humble and patient. Law 5. Appear useful to the powerful. Machiavelli warned, never be useless to those above you. In every structure, family, company, society, power flows toward utility. The king keeps the jester who entertains, not the one who questions. The CEO trusts the strategist who solves problems, not the moralist who complains. Be needed, and you will be protected. Become indispensable, and you will be untouchable. Law 6. Hide the extent of your intelligence. The greatest danger for an intelligent mind is to make others feel small. Machiavelli observed that men forgive anything except superiority. Therefore, hide your brilliance behind modesty. Let others think they are the source of the idea. The wise often pretend to be average while quietly directing the outcome. Outsmarting others begins by letting them underestimate you. Law 7. Turn enemies into mirrors. Your enemies reveal who you truly are. Machiavelli taught that opposition is not an obstacle, it's a diagnostic tool. When someone hates you, they expose what threatens them most. Observe what they attack. It will reveal your most powerful traits. Instead of retaliating, study. Your enemies are the professors of your evolution. Law 8. Use absence to increase respect. Familiarity breeds contempt. Machiavelli warned that those who are always visible become common. The powerful understand rhythm. They appear then disappear, leaving others hungry for their presence. Strategic absence makes people question, desire, and revere you. The more rarely they see you, the more they imagine your greatness. Never make yourself too accessible. Distance is the shadow that magnifies light. Law 9. Never compete where you cannot win. The wise do not fight every battle, they choose the battlefield. Machiavelli's principle was simple. Retreat is not weakness, it's intelligence. When you engage where others have an advantage, you offer them victory. Power demands patience and timing. The strong wait until the terrain is favorable, until emotion fades and clarity rules. Never play by someone else's rules. Redefine the game before you enter it. Law 10. Influence emotion, not logic. Machiavelli knew that men are not governed by truth, but by their feelings about truth. Logic convinces few. Emotion moves nations. If you want loyalty, don't argue, evoke. People follow those who make them feel understood, not those who make them feel wrong. Power is not gained through knowledge. It's gained through the ability to steer the emotional currents of others while remaining emotionally still yourself. Law 11. Never explain, only demonstrate. Explanations weaken authority. When you justify your actions, you hand your audience control over your narrative. Machiavelli taught that great leaders act and let the results speak. The more you explain, the more you seem uncertain. The one who acts decisively projects inevitability. Speak through consequence, not defense. In silence, the powerful sound invincible. Pause. Reflect on this question. How many times have you betrayed your own strategy by talking too much, by proving, by explaining, by needing others to understand you? That is where most people lose power. Not in failure, but in overexposure. These first 11 laws are not about domination. They are about restraint. Machiavelli's brilliance was not in creating chaos, but in mastering it. The strong man knows when to stay silent, when to hold back, and when to act. The weak confuse impulse with courage. The wise see power as a temperature to be controlled. Each of these principles, when applied consciously, changes the way you move through the world. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You begin to observe. And in that stillness, others begin to orbit you without knowing why. Because in the psychology of power, mystery is magnetism. Power, Machiavelli said, is not inherited. It's built, brick by brick, through understanding. What destroys most people is not their weakness, but their blindness. They fail to see the invisible web that connects every choice, every silence, every illusion. In the first 11 laws, you learned how to control yourself and the perceptions of others. But now we go deeper. The next 10 laws enter the realm of subtle domination, psychological mastery, manipulation of time, and control of narrative. These are not tricks, they are patterns. Once you see them, you will never again be fooled by appearances. Law 12. Never argue, win without words. Machiavelli understood that arguments are traps. When you try to convince someone, you hand them your energy. The wise man doesn't argue, he rearranges reality. He uses silence, timing, and suggestion to plant an idea so deeply that others believe it was their own. True influence is invisible. You do not force people to agree. You make them arrive at your conclusion willingly. Every great manipulator knows this truth. The strongest voice in a room is often the one that never raises its tone. Law 13. Exploit the hunger for validation. Every person craves acknowledgement. Machiavelli knew that even the proudest soul longs to be seen. Praise is not a gift, it's a weapon. Compliments are the strings that move the puppets of ego. When you flatter sincerely, you earn trust. When you flatter strategically, you gain control. The powerful give just enough admiration to make others reveal their desires. The key is moderation. Too little, you seem cold. Too much, you seem false. Find the precise dose that keeps others addicted to your approval. Law 14. Appear moral. Act strategic. The masses want to believe in morality, even when it's false. Machiavelli said, "It is unnecessary to be good, but it is necessary to appear so." The strong never display their ruthlessness. They cloak it behind virtue, generosity, or noble causes. Your image must be cleaner than your intentions. Appear to care while you calculate. Appear humble while you plan. Appear innocent while you act. It's not hypocrisy, it's survival. Because in a world ruled by perception, moral camouflage is the highest form of intelligence. Law 15. Crush problems at their root. Weak minds react to symptoms. Strong minds attack causes. Machiavelli warned that small threats ignored become empires. A whisper of doubt, a hint of rebellion, a seed of envy, if not confronted early, will devour your stability. Power is maintained not by mercy, but by foresight. Do not wait for chaos to bloom. Act before it's visible. Prevent, don't cure. Because once the infection spreads, even a king becomes a servant of circumstance. Law 16, never trust gratitude. Machiavelli saw that favors create resentment, not loyalty. The moment you help someone, you remind them of their weakness. Gratitude fades. Entitlement grows. Therefore, never rely on gratitude as a bond. Instead, create alliances based on mutual interest. Make sure people depend on you for what they value most, not because they owe you, but because without you they cannot move forward. Gratitude is temporary. Dependence is eternal. Law 17. Control the narrative before others do. In every conflict, story is power. Machiavelli taught that perception becomes truth, and truth becomes irrelevant once a narrative spreads. If you don't tell your story, someone else will. Control what people hear first. It will shape everything they believe afterward. Never let rumors define you. Define yourself before the rumor breathes. Those who master narrative don't need to defend their actions. They make others defend theirs. Law 18. Use timing as a weapon. The impatient lose to the patient. Machiavelli compared time to a bowstring. Pull too early and the arrow falls short. Pull too late and the target moves. Power is the art of knowing when to strike. Wait until the perfect moment when your action will echo the loudest. Those who rush reveal fear. Those who delay too long reveal hesitation. The wise understand that silence stretched over time becomes pressure, and pressure applied precisely breaks mountains. Law 19. Use fear without violence. The greatest rulers in history ruled not through terror but through presence. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved if the fear is controlled. True power doesn't need punishment. It only needs the possibility of it. People obey not the threat itself, but the energy that suggests you are capable of anything. Never show cruelty, show capacity. The shadow of your strength must linger even in your calmest smile. Law 20. Protect your reputation like a kingdom. Reputation is the invisible empire upon which power rests. Lose it and all your laws crumble. Machiavelli knew that once doubt poisons your name, you no longer control how others think of you. Therefore, guard it as you would your life. Never let rumors settle. Never let envy linger. Reputation is not built on truth, it's built on consistency. Act always in alignment with your chosen image, even when no one watches, because eventually, perception becomes legacy. Law 21. End stronger than you began. Machiavelli's final truth is the most merciless of all. Endings define everything. The crowd forgets your struggle, your sacrifices, even your sincerity. They remember only your finish. Therefore, never let fatigue ruin your last impression. End every argument, every project, every relationship from a position of calm dominance. Never collapse at the end. Withdraw with mystery. Those who end with control are remembered as masters. Those who fade are remembered as weak. The conclusion of an act determines the respect that follows it. Now pause. Let these laws sink into you. Power is not about cruelty, it's about awareness. The Machiavellian mind sees every human interaction as an exchange of energy, an invisible negotiation between truth and illusion. These laws are not instructions for manipulation. They are shields against it. They show you where others hide their intentions, how they project their fears, and how to remain untouchable amid their chaos. Ask yourself this question. Which of these laws do you already break every day without realizing it? Is it the need to be understood? The desire to be liked? The urge to explain yourself? Every one of those instincts drains your strength. The powerful learn to suppress them, not out of coldness, but out of self-respect. Machiavelli did not want you to become ruthless. He wanted you to wake up, to see the machinery of manipulation around you and rise above it. The masses react. The conscious man orchestrates. The weak obey emotion. The wise shape emotion. The world is a chessboard and you were never meant to be a pawn. Once you understand these 21 laws, you realize that intelligence is not measured by intellect, but by your ability to remain composed when others lose themselves. You begin to value silence more than victory, mystery more than attention, influence more than validation. The one who outsmarts everyone does not move faster. He moves wiser. Knowing Machiavelli's laws is not enough. Knowledge without embodiment is illusion. Power only exists when it becomes part of your nature, when you breathe it, speak it, and move with it unconsciously. Many study Machiavelli as history, but he never intended to be studied. He intended to be lived. His words are not for those who seek control over others, but for those who wish to no longer be controlled by the manipulations of the world. The time has come to bring these laws down from the marble towers of theory into the soil of daily life. Because Machiavellian wisdom, when practiced with awareness, transforms not only how others treat you, but how you perceive yourself. These are not tricks. They are mental disciplines, quiet rituals of the mind. They teach you how to command presence without aggression, influence without lies, and progress without fear. Let us translate these ancient principles into a modern living art. Master the game of perception. Every day, people are forming silent judgments about you. How you stand, speak, listen, or react, all of it shapes your image. Most live unconsciously, revealing everything. To live Machiavellianly is to curate the image that precedes you. It means observing how others perceive you and adjusting strategically, not by pretending, but by selective revelation. Decide what parts of yourself the world deserves to see. When you walk into a room, do not rush to be understood. Let your mystery speak first. You are not obligated to expose your motives, only your confidence. Use silence as a weapon. When others expect your voice, give them your silence. When they expect reaction, give them observation. Machiavelli knew that silence has gravitational pull. It makes people project their fears, their guilt, their curiosity. In negotiation, in relationships, in conflict, silence is control. Speak only when your words serve purpose. Every unnecessary explanation dilutes your authority. Remember, the one who speaks least commands most. Practice emotional neutrality. People who can provoke your emotions can direct your behavior. To be unshakable is to be untouchable. Begin each morning with awareness. No one owes you kindness, fairness, or consistency. The world reflects itself, not you. Accept this truth and emotions lose their power to enslave you. Whether insulted or praised, remain internally still. Power is not in suppression, it's in choice. Choose your emotional responses instead of surrendering them. Replace reaction with observation. Machiavelli would tell you, never answer the first impulse. Every emotional reaction reveals your strategy to the world. Instead, observe. Before replying to a message, before arguing, before deciding, pause for 3 seconds. Those seconds will save years of regret. The strong move like chess players, not gamblers. Your control over reaction determines how much of the game you command. Build value before seeking influence. Power cannot exist without utility. The question Machiavelli would ask is not, do they like you, but do they need you? To be influential, become useful, emotionally, intellectually, strategically. Learn skills that others depend on. Offer solutions, not opinions. The moment your presence simplifies their world, they will protect your value instinctively. But never give everything. Keep something they always need. Turn observation into anticipation. Study the patterns of those around you. Notice their fears, desires, and insecurities. People repeat themselves endlessly. The one who sees patterns controls timing. Machiavelli said that a ruler must predict storms before they arrive. In your life, this means reading the emotional weather of others, knowing when they will resist, when they will surrender, and when they will listen. Anticipation is foresight in motion, detached from the need for approval. Machiavelli believed that dependency on validation is the first chain of slavery. The crowd will admire you today and condemn you tomorrow. Power requires emotional independence. Begin practicing this by letting disapproval exist without defending yourself. Do not rush to explain. Let others misunderstand. Their noise does not reduce your truth. When you no longer crave to be liked, you become magnetic. Master strategic generosity. The generous fool gives to be loved. The generous strategist gives to create loyalty. Machiavelli would say, small gifts buy great silence. Occasional help earns deep influence. Offer something valuable when it costs you little but means much to others. A well-timed act of kindness can build invisible debt. Just never give out of guilt. Give out of calculation. Protect your time like a king guards his throne. Time is the one resource even kings cannot reclaim. Machiavelli knew that control over time equals control over destiny. Set clear boundaries. Never allow the trivial to drain your day. Every yes you give without thought weakens your empire of focus. Refuse interruptions disguised as friendship or urgency. Those who manage their time rule those who don't. Destiny. Learn to walk away without emotion. In the chessboard of life, sometimes the only winning move is departure. Machiavelli admired those who could leave, not in anger but in control. Walk away when loyalty turns to liability, when arguments turn circular, when effort is no longer respected. Departure with calm is a declaration of power. Your silence after leaving speaks louder than any revenge. Us. Use observation to build influence. Influence grows through understanding. Before speaking to persuade, study what drives the other person. People don't change for logic, they change for recognition. When someone feels seen, their defenses collapse. Use empathy not as softness, but as insight. The more precisely you can describe what someone feels, the more power you have to guide them without force. Make your strengths invisible. Machiavelli would remind you, what others can see, they can destroy. Don't display all your talents at once. Keep one dimension of yourself unseen, one layer of potential unrealized. Mystery keeps you unpredictable. The day others think they fully understand you is the day they begin to control you. Protect that inner chamber of your mind that no one enters. Control the energy you radiate. Energy communicates before words do. Enter a room with centered calm, not arrogance, not nervousness. People sense balance before logic. The powerful radiate composure that others cannot define. Cultivate a neutral face, a steady tone, an unhurried movement. Machiavelli's modern disciple understands this. Your calm destabilizes the anxious, your silence exposes the insecure, your stillness terrifies the loud. Peras. Reward loyalty privately, correct betrayal quietly. Public emotion weakens authority. When someone is loyal, show appreciation in private, it deepens connection. When someone betrays you, correct them in silence, not spectacle. Machiavelli saw that revenge screams weakness. Quiet consequence commands fear. A single calm decision can end a cycle of manipulation more effectively than months of argument. Never dramatize justice. Administer it like medicine. Pues, use patience as your ultimate strategy. Most failures come from haste. People move from anxiety, not purpose. Power blooms only in patience. Machiavelli would say, "He who masters waiting controls those who rush." Every opportunity matures in silence. When you feel pressure to act, wait one more moment. Let the impulsive destroy themselves while you observe. Stillness is not inaction, it is calculation. Redefine kindness as conscious choice. To be kind without boundaries is to be consumed. To be kind strategically is to elevate both yourself and others. Choose when to give, to whom, and why. Kindness is powerful only when paired with discernment. Machiavelli never despised compassion. He simply believed it must never blind you. Give light but never burn for others. Keep secrets like sacred weapons. Every secret you reveal weakens your fortress. In the modern world of oversharing, mystery has become divine. Machiavelli's wisdom here is eternal. Never speak of your plans before they bear fruit. Share outcomes, not intentions. When no one knows what's next, you are untouchable. The unseen cannot be sabotaged. Build influence in silence. Let your results speak louder than your presence. In a culture addicted to attention, your calm productivity will look supernatural. Each time you achieve quietly, you grow roots that others can't cut. Remember, applause fades, but mystery multiplies. The most powerful souls are those whose influence is felt, not declared. Cultivate an aura of inevitability. People follow those who seem destined to succeed. Machiavelli knew that confidence is contagious. Speak as if your vision is already real. Move as if failure is irrelevant. This aura doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from certainty. When others sense your belief in yourself, they stop questioning and start aligning. Your destiny must look non-negotiable. Reflect daily on your power. Before sleep, review your actions. Where did you react emotionally? Where did you reveal too much? What did you control successfully? Power is not static, it's cultivated. Self-reflection is Machiavelli's meditation. The one who studies his own weakness becomes unpredictable to others. The day you stop analyzing yourself is the day others begin analyzing you. These applications are not moral laws, they are disciplines of awareness. Machiavelli's philosophy is not to corrupt you, but to awaken your strategic intelligence. To teach you how to live consciously in a world that rewards unconscious behavior. Each time you act with awareness, you rewrite your fate. Remember this, the Machiavellian mind does not seek to dominate others. It seeks to stop being dominated by illusion. It turns pain into perspective, rejection into redirection, and betrayal into instruction. That is the true transformation of power, from control over others to mastery over self. If you've reached this far, write this in the comments to mark your awakening. I choose mastery over motion, because when you master your emotions, your silence becomes command, your patience becomes persuasion, and your clarity becomes charisma. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when knowledge must stop being theory and start becoming energy, when ideas are no longer spoken, but lived. You've walked through the 21 laws of power, seen how Machiavelli dissected the illusions of humanity, and learned that power is not about domination, but lucidity. The question now is not whether you've understood, but whether you have awakened. Because true awakening is not in understanding what others do, it is in seeing what you have always done unconsciously. Machiavelli's brilliance was not in cruelty, it was in clarity. He looked at the world and said, "This is what it is." He refused to romanticize mankind. He refused to be blinded by idealism. He understood that men speak of virtue but act from fear. They preach morality but pursue advantage. They promise loyalty but calculate profit. To him, this wasn't pessimism, it was precision. He believed that the one who accepts the ugliness of human nature gains the freedom to move through it untouched. Because when you expect deception, it cannot wound you. When you understand fear, you can calm it. When you see vanity, you can use it. That is power, not manipulation but comprehension. The weak man seeks control through emotion. The strong man commands through awareness. The weak man reacts to the world. The strong man studies it. And in that study, something sacred happens. The chaos becomes predictable. You begin to see that everything people do, every betrayal, every affection, every argument, is a reflection of their own inner world, not yours. Machiavelli wanted you to realize that you are surrounded by actors, each trapped in their own performance. Those who play consciously win. Those who play unconsciously lose. The modern world, though centuries apart, is still the same theater. Today, manipulation is digital, attention is currency, and the new thrones are screens. Yet the laws haven't changed. People still crave approval. They still fear rejection. They still worship appearances. And those who understand this, who see beneath the social masks, the corporate smiles, the political speeches, will always stay 10 steps ahead. To live Machiavellianly today means to detach from the noise and master perception. It means to cultivate emotional silence in a world addicted to outrage. It means to plan 5 moves ahead while others chase applause. Let this truth settle deep within you. Power is not taken. It is recognized. Once you know your worth, others begin to sense it. Once you stop chasing validation, others start giving it freely. Once you stop explaining, others start listening. This is the paradox Machiavelli lived by. When you no longer need to be powerful, you become it. Because power is not the mask, it's the calm behind it. The real transformation begins when you realize that the game is not against others. It's against your lower self. Your fear, your reactivity, your need for control. The modern Machiavellian doesn't seek to manipulate the crowd. He seeks to transcend it. He uses strategy not to deceive but to preserve energy. He practices awareness not to dominate but to stay awake. He chooses silence because he knows that speaking too soon feeds chaos. He waits, not because he is weak, but because timing is his ally. This is what Machiavelli meant when he said that fortune favors the prepared mind. Fortune, what others call luck, is not random. It belongs to those who discipline perception. It bends to those who see patterns where others see coincidence. You create your fortune every time you refuse to act impulsively. Every time you choose observation over reaction, patience over panic, silence over noise. The one who learns to think before the world reacts becomes untouchable. So now ask yourself, what kind of player will you be? The one who moves with the crowd, or the one the crowd never sees coming? The one who lives for applause, or the one who commands it without seeking it? The world doesn't need more saints. It needs more conscious minds. People who can blend heart and strategy, intuition and logic, light and shadow. Because power without heart is tyranny, but heart without power is tragedy. Machiavelli's wisdom only becomes divine when balanced by integrity. If you use these laws to harm, they will consume you. But if you use them to protect your energy, your vision, your peace, they will liberate you. The fox and the lion coexist in balance. The fox sees what others don't. The lion acts when others hesitate. You must become both, sharp in mind but calm in spirit, fearless yet not reckless, kind but not naive, strategic but not soulless. That is the new definition of strength. You will know you have internalized these teachings when your silence intimidates more than your words, when your absence is noticed more than your presence, when people start describing you with confusion. There's something about them I can't quite explain. That confusion is your power. It is the aura of one who no longer reacts but orchestrates. Look around you. Most people live as pawns in emotional warfare. They give their time to distraction, their peace to gossip, their identity to approval. But the one who awakens from this hypnosis begins to rise quietly. The crowd no longer understands him. His stillness becomes his rebellion. His clarity becomes his crown. You can be that person. You can walk unseen, act unseen, influence unseen, and yet be the axis around which the world turns. That is the highest form of Machiavellian wisdom, invisible dominance. So as this journey ends, remember the essence. Never reveal your entire hand. Never act without observing. Never explain what silence can express more powerfully. Never mistake emotion for strength. And never ever forget, those who control themselves control everything. Let this be your mantra tonight and every day forward. I do not chase power. I embody it. Now, if these laws have stirred something within you, if they've awakened the part of you that no longer wants to be a pawn in others' games, then step into the next chapter consciously. Like this video to anchor your intention. Subscribe so you never forget the discipline of clarity. And comment below these words to mark your transformation. I choose awareness over illusion. I choose mastery over emotion. I embody power in silence. Because the world doesn't belong to those who shout the loudest. It belongs to those who see the quietest. And that, Machiavelli would whisper, is how you outsmart everyone.